When I started using the Maffetone method for all of my runs, I was basically building my aerobic base so that I would be able to run faster at the same heart rate. Yes, it sucked having to run so flippin' slow all the time. And yes, I found it to be very frustrating, especially when I thought I was losing all my speed. Now, who was I kidding? I lost all of my speed a few years before I even started MAF, but you know. Well, what I'm about to share with you today in this video is a type of workout that will help you increase your pace, your speed, your cadence, all while running in your aerobic zone, your MAF zone. I've read a few books over the past few years talking about all types of running, that Maffetone method, 80-20, chi running, all those types of things. And I've had to make a few changes along the way. However, I find that when all of my training ingredients are in place, such as my diet, stress, sleep are all under control, my aerobic base develops and my pace increases, as shown by MAF tests. As my running pace increases, I develop more aerobic speed. This means I'll be able to run at a faster pace with the same heart rate, and I'm successfully developing my metabolism so that I can convert more fat to energy. And as my aerobic functions get better, I'll be healthier and I'll smile a lot more on YouTube. So if you want me to smile more, click the like button, watch the video to the end to help the video be recommended to more runners like you. Thanks so much. Now, if you're having a hard time keeping your heart rate in your MAF zone while you're running and find yourself running, then walking, or power walking, or shuffling, then try what I'm about to share with you today. If you're like me and you want more aerobic speed and you want to be able to run, there are a few running techniques that can be added to your aerobic base training routine. And these can even be performed during the anaerobic phase of training if it fits your schedule. Not all of us have all the time, but if it fits. Today I'm going to talk about one thing, and that is downhill running. While building your anaerobic base, you can develop more leg speed without the need to train anaerobically. And by doing downhill workouts, this workout allows you to go at a faster pace without the heart rate rising too fast. The increased pace is accompanied by a quicker leg turnover, aka cadence. And that's something that people who run with MAF struggle with a lot. For example, at a heart rate of 138, I can run at an 805 pace on flat ground currently right now. Then running downhill at the same heart rate, will it make me run at a 705 pace, depending on the hill slope and pace? Well, we're gonna find out on today's run. Using a long downhill that's not too steep, you can train your brain to turn the legs over much quicker, faster, than would normally occur during a run on a flat road or trail, all while staying aerobic. If you have a long, steady downhill that takes you 10 minutes or longer to complete, that's awesome. You can gain great neuromuscular benefits. However, it's very important to be sure that downhill is not too steep of a grade, which may make you overstride, putting too much mechanical stress on the knees, the quads, the feet, the lower back. Even on the right grade, your stride length should be the same as if you were on level ground. If the downhill is short, such as 5 minutes, you can do downhill repeats, walking or running slowly up the hill while staying aerobic to start your downhill interval again. Some treadmills can be adjusted to downhill, which is a nice alternative for all you that have treadmills. I don't, that's why I'm out here in this flippin' snow. Okay, I like snow. Snow's awesome. I'm going to be adding one downhill workout per week in my training plan to mix things up a bit. What I'm not going to do is run them on consecutive days during my base building period. Now, this workout does add more stress to your body, and it's best to recover from these runs by not using the technique on consecutive days. I need to be careful that my shin splints don't come back when doing these types of run workouts. However, when properly done, I don't think I'll feel much different than any other normal run. But I might feel mild soreness in some of my muscles since I'm adapting to something new into my training. Now, the question I had was, how long do these new workouts need to be? Well, not really that long. I'm going to run for about 45 minutes, and that's not including my warm-up or cool-down. But I'm going to get out there and I'm going to put in my first run. We'll come back and we'll take a look and see what the results are. So let's see how this plays out over the next few months. Fingers crossed that it further develops more of my aerobic speed. So in my small town, I don't have a lot of hills. I'm literally running right down the main street.
You came to this place to hide away in the dark. You tell yourself you need to move on.
Oh yeah. That was a fail. My watch is not working. Let's try this all over again. Okay, heart rate. I wanted to get it up there. So I'm at 135. That's failure number 2. The heart rate is too high. It's not steep enough. It's like basically flat like in most of the sections, and I didn't really realize until I started to run down. Change of plan. I gotta go find another spot in town. Ah, it sucks, but at least it'll be quieter. This is too loud. I'm just getting stressed out with all the cars and fire engines and police. They were all flying by. And these trucks. This is where I did a lot of my training for my first marathon. And it's just like this back laneway. So far, so good. Go home and take a look and see how the heck I did. So how did I do on this run? Well, I have to first compare it to a 5-kilometer run. Now I did that the other day and I completed it in 44 minutes basically. You know, it's an 8:47 kilometer pace, heart rate pretty average all the way through, you know, 139. I started off going 8:05, 8:59, 9:04, 8:36, 9:08. That was the first time that I had run a 5-kilometer since I've come back the whole entire time. And I'm quite happy with where things, you know, turned out. You know, my cadence was like 170, 168, 164, 166, 162. I mean, that all looks good. Now, if I take a look at today's run that I did when I was running downhill and walking up, 55 minutes, I completed 6.2 kilometers with an 8:45 kilometer pace. Like that's 2 seconds off running, you know, 5 kilometers, right? That I just did. Now, if I combined the downhill running and walking at the same time and compare it with my 5 kilometer, this is what I get. 8.3, 8:33, 8:43, 9:05, 9:01. Heart rate, 135, 138, 138, 134, 138. On a whole, I was faster except for this one section here where I was much faster on the downhill, as you can see right in red here. Running downhill, walking the ups, this is my splits. So in yellow I was walking, in white I was running. So looking at the numbers, for the 630 meters, which is as far downhill as I could run in town, I did it in 4 minutes, 30 seconds with a pace of 7:06. I'm okay with that. Heart rate 137, cadence 168. Walking back up took me 2 minutes longer. And heart rate was 135, my cadence was 129. It's kind of like doing a math test. The next 3 where I ran 4 minutes, 41 seconds, 4 minutes, 40 seconds, 4 minutes, 41 seconds, 139, 139, 139, cadence 168, 168, 169. Pretty good when I look at it. What did this really teach me with doing this? Well, I basically was able to run on the downhill pace between 7:06, 7:33, 7:24, 7:30, 7:36, kind of all in that 7:30 kind of range, which is pretty awesome. I was running the whole time. I was running at 8:05, 8:59, 9:04. If you want to get a little bit of leg speed in and you want to run faster, then run the downhill. You can keep it manageable, but I'll tell you, looking at this chart, it just basically proves the point. Running downhill in your MAF zone works. In my training plan, I plan on keeping this 1 day a week where I do this type of run just to be able to get, you know, feel like I'm running a little bit faster. If you're trying to decide whether walking or running is your thing, well, this video right here will help you in determining that, because I did the test, so you don't have to. Have a good one, everyone. Like I always say, get out and run.